Marty Havlat, who was in Chicago, like you mentioned, went to Mini. I mean, the list goes on and on. When you look at all these different moves, are there any that stand out to you that are moves that you like right off the top? You say, boy, that's a great fit there. Or are there ones that you say, boy, you scratch your head a little bit and you're like, boy, I don't really quite get that one.
Has L.A. done anything today?
Not yet.
Okay, well,
unless you want to break some news for me here.
No. I am the inciter. I am not the insider like Darren Drager or Bob McKenzie or some of our other fine analysts here on NHL Live. To me, I was looking at a team like LA, EJ, that I do not think, and look, that far away from what I guess is, I'm answering my own question, but, I think they're right on the verge because of some of the young players, their defense. They got a good young goaltender there, and Jonathan Quick. There's a lot of positive things. I thought that would be the one team, and, I'm sure that they were involved. I'm sure Dean Lombardi was involved, but I'm a little bit surprised and maybe and disappointed, too. I'm an alum of the L.A. Kings. I had a cup of coffee there way back when, but, I thought that would be one team that would step up, and, there's still time, don't get me wrong, but to this point anyways, no Gabrick, no Havlat, maybe a guy like, his Kovalev. I've been traveling all morning, so has Kovalev done anything yet?
Not yet, not that we know of.
Nope.
Right, so, somebody, I think that they need to get that, I think they need to get a goal scorer. I think that they need to get another guy that can help out Dustin Brown and Kopitar, and they have some assets there on the back end and up front. So that to me would be one place I'm still kind of keeping an eye on.
Eddie, let me ask you this, because I had this discussion. A fan called in before about the Kings, and they have been in the mix to try to get guys. Dean Lombardi talked about trying to get Hossa in the past. I know they tried to get Zdeno Chara, Patrick Elias, Scott Gomez, Chris Drury. There seems to be. I know in the past they've been. It hasn't been a destination. It seems like now it's more of a destination for teams, for players, But I think still, and you could answer this as a player and a guy that's from Chicago and played a lot of time in different places. I just think it's hard to sell some of these guys on going out and playing in the West and playing in California if they haven't done it before.
Like I said, unfortunately for me, it was a short period of time in L.A. I loved it there. I was lucky enough and honored enough and privileged enough to play in this league a long time, to play in some big markets like Chicago, like Toronto, like New York. I played in small markets like Pittsburgh and Winnipeg. And I had a chance to play in Los Angeles, and I really like what's going on there. I think Andy Murray did a hell of a job. You have a great assistant coach there, Mark Hardy. You have, I know that they've been in on some things, EJ, but to me, quite honestly, it's not good enough. Do it, get it done. Get this team where it needs to be. Luc Robitaille is there. You got a lot of positive things in that town. To me, to really get that team to the next level, which is making the playoffs. Look, it's been a while since the team has made the playoffs.
Yep.
So, to me, whatever has to be. You look at some of the contracts that are going on. Teams are overpaying to get guys. Well, you know what? If you want to send a message to your fan base, if you want to send a message, more importantly, to the organization, EJ, and to the guy sitting in that room, to go out and get, trying, okay, but, the only people that know how hard they're really pushing and how high they're willing to go. But to me, that's an area to me that I would love to see the LA Kings really, make a move. And, hey, maybe they have some assets, like I said. Maybe they want to make a trade. Maybe there's still some guys out there. But to me, that's the one thing, and it'll be interesting to see what Dean can do to really take that team and help that team get to where they want to get to.
Eddie, good stuff. Thank you very much. We appreciate you
joining.
joining.
The King situation. I guess I disagree with him a little bit. I just think you can't chase it beyond where you can go, because you end up a year from now going, we got a $7.5 million contract. The guy's got 7 years left. We'll never get out from under. I think you got to do things within what you want to do and what your plan is. And I can understand Eddie's feeling there, and I can understand the fans in L.A. being, just being so, wanting to push forward. We all want to see the Kings do better. It's a major market.
Yep.
But I think at the end of the day, you just can't force someone to come there. And, what would they have had to do to get Hossa? Would they have to go 14 years, $85 million? What would it have taken? And then who knows how that impacts the LA Kings down the road. So I think that Dean Lombardi and his group is really, they are trying. They had a couple of guys in mind. Maybe they'll do something today. We'll see. But I just think, people get caught up in the chaos of this day, and I think you really have to sit there and with your group and stay firm to your plan, because if you don't do that, you're going to get pulled in another direction, and then you're going to have a problem down the road.
I see parallels there with Chicago. I mean, they have that real young group. They don't have the Taves, Kane, but along the D, they kind of have the pair.
Some of those guys.
They have the Doughty and the Johnson type thing, and it's like they're just kind of at that point where you start adding those pieces of the puzzle, the veteran pieces of the puzzle. And that's kind of where they're at.
That's where they're at.
Very similar. It's like they're 2 years behind Chicago in the same situation.
And Chicago went out last year and kind of, blew their brains out with Brian Campbell. And Brian Campbell's a nice player, but he's their third best defenseman on their team right now. They're paying him $7.14 million for 7 more years. That's going to impact them at some point down the road. So we'll see what happens.